Just give me a straight answer. Is the General still in the cradle of summer?
She is for as much good as it'll do her. But the cards don't lie. She'll never get that door open. Fate says it's so.
Yes. Well, then I suppose we'll just have to change fate, won't we? Thank you for coming all this way. I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds as if General Talera is still here in exile. For all but losing the fortress of Melsenshire. Long ago, Talera led our forces, but then the Tuatha produced a foe she could not best. Her forces barely survived the retreat out of Cluracan. Many blamed her for the loss, to have built up hopes so high, only to have them topple. That was Talera's crime, and she has paid for it, day after day. You're as quick as ever. Talera is in the cradle of summer, banished from the battlefields of Melsenshire until she can atone for her past. According to the Fate Weaver here, she seeks an artifact from Ural Tusk that might break the siege and aid our forces. But she cannot do so alone, for poor Talera is fated never to succeed. That is where you can help. In a hidden valley, northwest of the plains of Erethel, the ruins of Ural Tusk lie undisturbed, as they have for many centuries. What Talera wants there is beyond me, but I trust her, even if it goes against my better judgment. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflo and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. Last I heard, General Talera was somewhere in northern Erethel, searching for a way to turn the tide of the war. I think she took a squad to Ural Tusk. You should be just what the General's looking for.
Hello. Mind your business. Ignore the pint. I'm working here. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alfar army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. I was a soldier once, in the years before the Crystal War. I saw many die at Galafor Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. Good riddance. Got any coin to spend? How's for a quick fate read? Got the cards all ready. Pleasant travels.
Please, stop. Help me, please. I've been robbed. The rogue stabbed me, made off with my belongings. Blast! I can't believe I lost the amulets.
Damn, Freeman. We refugees are an easy target. There's little we can do to defend ourselves. It was an item of much sentimental value. It had a name. The Heir of Barnabas. No, the Eye of Sunspar. It was something ridiculous. I am a refugee heading west from the Tawili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. They should be ashamed of themselves. With all they have, the least they can do is spare. He came from the cliffs, a bandit, I think. Stabbed me in the back, then made off with my satchel in his hand, and a wicked smile on his face. My mother's prized amulet is gone. A kind woman's last gift to her devoted son. I don't know. It looked like one of the bandits that prey on us poor refugees. That amulet could fetch a fair sum. So I am. What of it? My treacherous partner stuck me when my back was turned. First he nicked me, then he nicked my bag. Not like it matters. If you bring that amulet, I'll pay you for it. It's that simple. Mine or not, I intend to have that prize. So, oldie Mundus knows what happened. Well, I don't have the amulet. Gelt does. He took it from me. In exchange, he left his dagger in my shoulder. Don't insult me. You know damn well who I am, and what I've done. I'm surprised Mundus's wrinkled old... Hurry! There isn't much time. Do you have it?
It's from this tale that you mortals create myths. There were many battles, many losses, many victories. The Tempest spared no one. Your ancestors hid as the ground trembled under the gathered arm.
Oh, hello. Lovely weather. Have you spotted any sativa fiber? It's okay if you haven't. I'll keep looking. Lovely weather. I use it in potions to protect the corporeal form, to ensure health and longevity. It also makes a pretty decent aphrodisiac. That's something you're interested in. There is no richer region for reagents in all of Amalur. They say this is where the Summer Fae first rose from the earth. I find the Fae very odd. How about you? I've always felt a kinship with the flora of the plains. Do you? Can you feel them break the soil with their stems? Their muse of thirst on the driest of days? I do. Leela Janik, didn't you know? I thought that's why you were speaking to me. I collect plants to sell, to mix, to eat. Some of them I haven't figured out what to do with yet. What? There's a patch of it. But... Oh, hello. Did you just get here? Why wouldn't I want it? I've been chewing it since I was a child. It's what makes me impervious to harm. I'm completely indestructible, in case you hadn't noticed. If you can help me get that sativa, then I will be sure to give you a discount on all my alchemical goods. My sister Molly is a trainer. She'll drop her price. Don't do it on my account. The Cradle of Summer will provide. They have a nest in one of the small crevices at the foot of the cliffs. You'll know it by all the corpses. Nice to see you.
At last. Thank the gods. Someone's come for me at last.
Yes, I am the scoundrel you're looking for. Yes, I stabbed my partner in the back. Do with me what you like. Just please, please, take the amulet. It's yours. He lives in a mare. Pompous blowhard going on about his artifact collection to any who would listen. Name's Imundus. Wayne Imundus. It's terrible. Fire, ice, lightning. You will see. Yes, and I am a thief. Never had a spot of good luck. But taking what belongs to others doesn't make me a bad man, just a weak one. I'll tell you why. This Fey trinket belonged to Armand the Clever, and it's cursed. Like most, I considered it an old traveler's story. Well, now I'm a believer. It's real. I have the scars to prove it. Your only hope is to give it away, or to travel to Armand's Hollow, in hopes you can remove the curse, which is why I'm here. Please, take the amulet. I am so weak. Perhaps the most treacherous and playful Fey ever to walk the greenlands of the Summer Court. Evidence of his trickery can be found all over the Phalanx. Armand's Hollow of Syl is not far, right here in the Cradle of Summer. That's where I'm headed now. It is myself. Legend says that Armand crafted it by combining lightning, fire, and frost. An arcane trick he stole from the Scholia Arcana. All I know is what I've seen. Once that amulet is in your possession, it will torture you. Only the strongest can withstand its punishment. Don't say that. Look closer. Shiny, finely crafted, likely worth a fortune. It could be yours. Farewell.
grand. How very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janiks. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? So long. Oh, hello. Look how vast. So long.
Hail. I am General Talera ap Gwydion, former commander of the Eastern Alpha forces. Surely you're not the aide Aelin Shear promised. She spoke as if she planned to send a whole squad of soldiers, not one faceless mercenary. You have the bearing of one that's seen combat, but you never fought in the war, or you would know who I am. Once I was the commander of Mel Shear, the Alpha fortress to the east. I held back the Tuatha at every push before the BALOR came. Then everything fell to pieces. So, she is behind this. That woman. One too many times she's meddled in my affairs, making promises she never intends to keep. Well, perhaps it is for the best. The fewer people involved in my affairs, the better. You see, misfortune follows closely at my heels. It is the lot fate has cast for me. Long after the Arathi left our world, the mortals built these WINDSTONES to call them back down. I've never seen them work, but, as I said before, I'm not known for my good fortune. Earl Tusk, the tomb of the Divine Fang, the piercing light. With a weapon like that, I could rally the troops at Mel Shear and perhaps redeem myself. They say the ruin is guarded by legions of Niskaro, led by a beast known as Azagal. Whether this is true, or the stuff of legend, I don't know. 10 years ago, I served the Alpha armies, defending Cluricon and Mel Shear from the Tuatha armies. Then, Witch Knight Malwyn led his Tuatha summoners against us. The fiends routed my soldiers at every turn. Now they've had Mel Shear under siege for years, while I've been searching for a weapon to turn the tide. With Tuatha raiding parties along the shores, Rathia has the only port for safe passage across the strait. But after assisting Mel Shear for so many years, the ruling council of Rathia is loath to offer more aid for what they see as a lost cause. Mel Shear is the gateway into Cluricon, but it's been under siege ever since my defeat. I failed the city once. I can't fail them again. We may be lofty, but we are not weak. Our land is cold and harsh, and we have long studied the noble arts of bow and blade. Across 1,000 battlefields, my spear paints a red masterpiece. The BALOR is a thing of dread. a Niskaru lord that the Tuatha managed to coerce into fighting on their behalf. Against the Tuatha, I had some success, but no ordinary weapon can best the BALOR. One must fight darkness with light. The years have been long since I first learned of the means that might deliver Mel-Sen-Shir from the Tuatha. It lies in Earl Tusk, beyond a gate fated never to be opened, in a hall awash with Niskaru. Any who seek access to the ruin must face them. These ruins are said to be the resting place of the Piercing Light, a spear carved from the tusk of the Niskaru Duke, Gajor. The legends say it destroys any horror, in the mind or on the battlefield. No place is more deserving of such a power as Mel-Sen-Shir. The ruin holds the only weapon known that can slay a Niskaru lord, and the monsters inside will do anything to keep it safe. The Arathi sealed Earl Tusk to be opened only when the great voices rise in song. This may refer to the WINDSTONES scattered across the plains, but I can't be sure. Years ago, this chime was found near the ruin. I've tried using it to make the WINDSTONES sing, but I've had no luck. As if that's a surprise. The inscription says the gate will open when the great voices rise in song. I think this means the WINDSTONES that are spread across Erethel. There's one just a little to the south. Go there and strike this chime near it. I'll stay here to see if it has any effect. The WINDSTONES are located all across the plains.
We're wasting our time out here.
Be careful around the General.
I can't believe it. The gate shifted? For all my efforts, you simply appear and make it respond. No one could, not even Fate Weavers. They say that fate has woven no thread to open these doors. And yet, you've done it. But we must not stop here, not when good fortune smiles upon us. The gate opens, but you must find the remaining WINDSTONES and strike the chimes. I will stay here. The Niskaru within will sense the gate weakening. Someone will need to hold them back. Go sound the chime at each WINDSTONE in Erethel. That's the only way to open the gates. I'll stay here and fight any Niskaru looking to sneak past us.
Give me a Freeman
Tell me something. Are you in the habit of just walking into people's houses uninvited? Does that ever end poorly? I'd think most people would object to strangers rifling through their things. Of course, I am not most people. Come to think of it, it has been too long since I've enjoyed the conversation of strangers. Now that is the question, isn't it? I'm going to need time to figure that out. Which gives you plenty of time to get us some refreshments. Have you ever heard of the Realte Brocaire? It is a particularly rare vintage from the north. Why don't you travel to Lucky Mine and root around a bit? Find a bottle of the Realte Brocaire for us to share, and then we'll talk. Once, Cadrian was a small kingdom whose borders included the land of Akatha. The lords of Cadrian ruled from a great keep to the southeast. Now it is little more than a dilapidated fortress looming over a run-down village south of here. The war has bled it dry. You wish to know of me? I'm not that interesting, I promise. Not many choose to live upon the flooded plains of Akatha. Between the Tuatha and the Wild Fae, it is a place of little worth. Still, I like to call it home. I haven't tasted its sweet sorrow since I was a young warlord. Bring me a bottle and I'll tell you all about those long-forgotten days. Farewell.
You've done it. The ancient Irathi sealed this place centuries ago, and it opens to welcome you. Incredible. The piercing light should be in the deepest vault of these ruins. Be careful. The Niskara will do anything to keep us from that spear. The piercing light...